That's what woke us up at 6 o'clock this morning. Normally there's one guy that really shifts gears in front and makes a total wreck. Well, you should.
20 by what? About 16, 15, 16?
Many times you've done it, you probably. In
Yeah,
the microwave?
I usually melt it, but I told you it's got so much water in it anymore.
Yeah.
Margarine has lots of water in it.
You don't use butter?
Well, I wish I could, but it's expensive.
Yes.
And it's fat.
And then,
Bigger ones make bigger noises. That's supposed to be really good to use in these. You just, well, it was dark, you know, those Cinnabons when you look at them, but there's some of them that say have special cinnamon oils and stuff. But I don't know where you'd get them.
well, you probably buy it.
About 5 minutes, that's when that's.
Well, no. She's not ready.
Did you put raisins on there?
Yep. This one, yes.
Yeah. So you put the nothing. Oh, you sprinkled cinnamon on top of the brown sugar.
Yes.
I wanted to see how heavy you did the cinnamon.
Pretty heavy.
You have to.
Yes.
After you watch.
I put a lot of cinnamon in. People like cinnamon, and you don't get them in your rolls that you buy because it's expensive and they don't.
Well, you could stand out here and just take these trucks. They just come by. There's about one every minute, seems like. Horrible racket. Now there's 2. Boy, if it were me, I'd sit out here and I'd write down every second thing. Can't they? They need their own road, that's what they need.
That's right, they need. They need a private way to get. Well, either that or they can say, hey, part of the time, part of you trucks go this way, part of you go that way. There's 3 ways they can get to where they're going.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is using this one road. Look at that. That is just a mess.
It is. It's about every minute.
Well, that won't even cover a pan.
Go up there because it's the end.
Yes.
So you got more dough.
I just have got, it
How many-
makes it better if I don't put all that dough.
How many did you get out of a roll?
I make
10. Got 1 minute. That's horrible. You still make your pies too?
Oh, there's another truck. Then when the poor tractor goes by, you grumble at it because you're so tired of all the others. You can't imagine that tractor making noise too. And the kid in the Jeep with his radio blaring. When's school over with?
that was Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Little yellow car.
No, black Jeep,
Oh, that was
open Jeep. When's school over with?
Jimmy and the Presty, it's over, honey, but these kids are in summer school because they didn't do what they were supposed to do while they were in school. And by golly, they ought to make the parents pay for it instead of the district.
Yes.
They let them go free
The
in
only
summer
way those
school?
kids are going to start, and it's so much fun over here in summer
Yes.
school, it isn't even funny.
Yeah, they don't do it very good. They're just wasting their
A couple of
time.
teachers didn't have a class out there, and I saw them sitting out there all morning long. You know, I mean, not their fault, but we're paying for that.
He,
For quiet kids, and they really get dependent upon their mothers too. There's a 14-year-old boy in our block that his mother's homeschooling him. And
I'll tell you another thing that I have a hard time with in this deficient attention deficient disorder. 3/4 of that is because those kids weren't taught to mind when they were before they went to school,
it is true.
and they weren't taught to listen,
Yes.
stop and listen to
but
what I'm
mother,
saying.
they're on Ritalin.
And well,
That's 'cause
They
they
wouldn't
got
need to be on
AT&T.
Ritalin. All they need to be is taught how to listen into mind. And another thing, a teacher has part of these kids when the rest are just going on everywhere.
Right.
They've got to be listening to her, or they're not going to learn. Times, but it's worth repeating to a teacher. We had.
Oh, you're
Come
out
on,
there.
Karen. No more cinnamon rolls.
Oh, no. Want me to go buy some? Want me to go to the corner?
No.
We can just rock over the corner.
Okay, I'm not exactly without resource.
Yeah.
Nutmeg.
Nope. I'll be fine with
It's
you.
a bargain, it couldn't pass it up.
Boy, you put a lot of cinnamon on.
Oh yeah, I do. I mean, cinnamon is what makes it really good. This has got a little bit of sugar in it,
Look around and see if I can find some of that cinnamon with a good oil in it that's supposed to be.
Karen,
Anyway, I
Yeah.
worked as an aide for down in the first grades for a long, long time, and we take these little kids. First of all, we learn them
Yes.
you know,
Right,
and then
the
we
basics.
the blends,
Right.
stir, cur, on all those blends, and then the endings. See, so when those kids learn that and their vowels, ass, a says
Right.
ah, e says you know, you says
Right.
when they learn all of that stuff, then they're ready to take, and you sit down with them,
That's phonics.
and
Yes.
But you don't
put it
teach
in a
phonics
word,
anymore.
and then you teach them how to sound that word out.
Right.
What does it begin with? What does it end with? What's in the middle?
Right.
What does that say? Now,
They'll put it together.
that's right. Okay, but we had, and then after that, you don't stop when they start to read. You say, at the end of the page, you say, what did it tell you?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time, they don't
Know
know.
what it means.
So
right.
you say, okay, we'll go back,
Right.
we'll read it again.
Right.
And you read it until they can tell you.
Do
And
that
here I
again.
can see, these are the kids we have, these are the kids she had.
Do that again, Mother.
What, honey?
Measure that.
This?
Why are you
You
measuring
mark it off,
Why,
Paul.
oh yeah,
Unless
Dad.
you mark it off, you don't do any good.
That's right, Dad.
that? Can you scrunch it?
He's been watching me make cinnamon rolls.
Can you scrunch it together?
Yeah, I do.
Doesn't it come apart as soon as you pick it up?
Nope. Nope.
Stupid tracking there.
2, 4, 6,
Building a hotel in
8,
the sand
10,
pits this
12, 14, 16, 18. Now, if I hadn't learned how to do math, I wouldn't know how to do this. See? You gotta have math.
Yeah.
Well, one
So
thing I
it's
like
2
about the
inches.
high school that I'm going to be teaching at is they really are big on parent responsibility, and I can only do so much for their kid. And I told them that, I said, I'm only here to do so much.
Yeah.
I'm here to do my job and to work hard.
Yeah.
But if the parents aren't going to do their job, then it's
That's right. Mike Granado had a kid he could not teach times tables to. He would not learn them.
Huh.
And he was just beside himself because Mike Granado was great on, well, you have to have him, that's all there is to it.
What
And
grade?
he made, 4th grade.
Oh,
He made those kids learn those things inside out, and
Yeah,
upside down, and
yeah.
every which way you could.
that's right.
He had signs hanging from the ceiling that said divisor and all this and that,
Oh.
and an example, and there was no reason why.
Yeah.
And finally, he called in the mother. And
Why
he
do you
said,
mush that down?
What, this?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm going to flatten them.
Why?
when
You
I
want
get
them to
through
raise
that.
harder? They
Oh,
raise
they'll raise
higher?
up. The yeast is in them. They're going to have to raise. Anyway, he called her in, and he said, you've got to help me. He said, you teach this kid his things at school, at home. She said, why?
Yeah.
He's got computers. He won't have to learn how to.
That's why he wasn't learning.
That's right. She said, he doesn't need that stuff. We've got computers. He can just use a computer. So he'll never need them.
You should put that soft one in the middle, Mother, and then that'll be all soft.
What?
She put that nice soft one in the outside pan and it'll get crusty. Those spots until it's well, there's a few little stuff that's in there.
Oh, they gotta have a little room to raise.
It's another 45
Now, I
minutes.
put this pan back in here until they raise, and then I take it up and take the water out and heat the oven to
Oh, okay.
420.
How long do you let them raise in the pan like that?
Until they come up pretty good. about
But one
half
will
hour.
have
Okay.
one will have risen twice as much as the other.
Well, the little pan full here, yes.
Oh, she's got just the big pan. She doesn't-
Sometimes I'll set that in the refrigerator or put it where it's cool so it won't race quite so fast.
Oh, there goes another truck. Boy, you have learned not to concentrate on those trucks or they drive you
Yes,
crazy.
I don't hear much. Jill.
Yeah,
Oh.
put him first.
And that's all they rise? Just the top of the pan?
Yeah, what they're gonna rise again, see?
In the oven? Oh, you're rising them again or they're gonna cook?
They're gonna cook, but why they race when they cook?
Yeah.
Come on, I didn't use that much heat.
Hey, Gloria.
Well, Jill says she's gonna have that son of her food.
That will be.
That plain powdered sugar and milk.
Did you heat the milk?
I heated the milk.
I think that
And I
has,
put vanilla.
I think that
pretty
has
good vanilla.
something to do with it, because sometimes that powdered sugar has a funny taste.
Well, you heat the milk, get it to, I bring it to a boil and then and put it on while it's hot and it cooks a little while it's on the, you're not too
Sure.
hot or it'll melt all over, you know, but just so it'll kind of, see how it's beginning to glaze? I did, let's get